Hello and welcome to Dad and Swebb Talk Sports. I'm Swebb.
And I'm dead.
And we are the dad and daughter duo talking about all of our favorite sports moments from the week. Dad, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Swebb. Happy New Year.
Our first show of 2026.
Yep.
I'm actually going to take something from Michael Irvin. He said Happy You Year. Happy New Year, people.
If I didn't know better, I think he was on the team.
He's practically the mascot, if anything. So we've obviously taken a little bit of time off for the holidays. How was your Christmas? What have you been up to the past couple weeks?
Christmas was good. You were down here. You know me for a week.
We only went to the gym once in 8 days. I ran every day except for one. You went to the gym once out of the 8 days that I was there.
Isn't that enough?
No. I ran 7 days. You went to the gym one day.
I'm older than you are. So when Christmas was over, I headed down to Orlando, Florida to see Michigan and Texas play in the Citrus Bowl.
And your team lost.
Yeah.
Again in your presence.
It was a little cold down there. It was great atmosphere. It was in the high 50s, and our tickets were on the side of the field with the shade. So I didn't sit in those seats. I had to walk around, and if you stood in the sun or sat in the sun, it was like 70. So part of the time I was standing next to the Michigan band. The other times I went over to the Texas side because their side was in the sunlight, and it was pretty good, Swebb. Pretty good.
That's your story? That's why they lost?
They lost because they had
Because you were at the game.
They had a bunch of the experienced guys that didn't play in the game, and right now they're a dysfunctional operation. They had to go outside of the family to hire a new coach because the family was so dysfunctional. They couldn't hire somebody else.
Talk about making sure you hire within the family.
Yeah, but
2 weeks later, you're like, they went out of the family, but it's okay.
no, listen. You know what? The same thing in life. If your father's in jail, your mother's a drug addict, what are you going to do? Give up on life? No, you have to go outside of the family to find a mentor, to find somebody that can help you, a teacher, a coach, a pastor. You have to find somebody or a neighbor. You have to find somebody that can help you. So what do?
So who's the mother and father in this Michigan football story?
The mother and the father. The father it turned out to be a stooge, and he had to be fired and thrown out of the family. Okay, because he was never.
Would the AD be the mother in this?
The mother threw him
story?
out. Well, yeah. So the father had to be thrown out because he didn't know how to behave, and some of his people that he brought in had already been thrown out, and it was a dysfunctional situation. So they had to go out of the family and get Whittingham, a 66-year-old coach from the University of Utah, who had kind of semi-retired, and they had to get him. Man has impeccable credibility, plays the same system that Michigan runs, and is a guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame in a few years.
So
they got
feeling good.
They got very
in 2026. You're feeling good about Michigan.
I'm feeling good. Now the transfer portal opened on yesterday, so we'll see what they can pick up, and we'll go from there.
Listen, we don't need to spend all this time talking about Michigan because your team is done for the season. My team is still in it. Okay, University of Miami. They're on their way to the college football semifinals this Thursday against Ole Miss. They beat Texas A. They barely got in. They got into the CFP by the grace of God. They deserved it, but, we weren't sure. The news stories were saying prior to the playoffs that they would be the first team out. They get in. They beat Texas A&M 10-3. Defensive showing. I mean, it was windy as all hell in College Station that day. Our kicker missed 3 field goals. And then New Year's Eve, they play Ohio State in Dallas in AT&T Stadium. They end up winning 24-14. Talk about starting off 2026 with a bang.
That was good.
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good too. You guys took out Ohio State. I'm feeling real good.
I
And
mean,
you didn't just take them out. It was a beatdown.
listen, our defense, this is exactly what we didn't have last year. Last year, our defense was a sieve. We were giving up like 30 points a game. We couldn't stop anyone. And we had a great offense. We had the Heisman Trophy winner. This year, I'm down and out after we lose to SMU. I'm thinking
You had the Heisman Trophy winner.
Cam Ward last year.
Oh, last year, right?
Yes. So this year, not feeling as good, but we start off strong. Then we lose to Louisville. Then we lose to SMU. And here we are, 2 games left. Semifinals against Ole Miss, which is a winnable game. Ole Miss beat Georgia on New Year's Day. They have gone through some turmoil with their coach leaving, with their dad, leaving the house and starting a new family. And so I'm feeling really, really good.
Yeah, their father left the family just when they graduated from high school and they were getting ready to go off to college. Uh, their father decided he was going to go to LSU for a few million more. Unbelievable. But let me tell you something. Be careful with Ole Miss.
Well, yeah, they're playing
Listen,
with a chip on their shoulder.
not just that. Everything's that game against Georgia was one of the most remarkable games I've ever seen. And their quarterback, who was Division II, their quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, went to a Division II school, Ferris State, sat on the bench for 2 years, did not play. In his junior year, he got on the field, and they won 2 national championships, 2 Division II national championships when he was on the bench. Last year, he played. They won another national championship. Then he transfers out to LSU. The first 2 games of the year, he was on the bench. Then they gave him a chance to play, and he takes them where he's taking
Ole
them.
Miss, you're saying.
Ole Miss, yeah.
You said LSU.
Oh, sorry. He transferred to Ole Miss, and that's the deal. And now, all of a sudden, he's moving up in the draft boards. He might be a quarterback. I might not see might not mind the Jets drafting.
Listen, we're not going to ruin the start of the year talking about the Jets, okay? So here's my dilemma. So Thursday I'll be watching the game, obviously. I feel like, and I don't want to jump the gun, so I haven't looked at prices. I haven't looked at flights. The championship would be in Miami, a city I know well, a city I know I can get around. I can figure out where to stay, all the things. A big city to where the prices should be reasonable to stay in Miami and to fly down to Miami because it's a big enough city that people are coming and going all the time.
Or you could fly down to me and we'll drive down.
No. So you're not going anywhere near seeing my team in person. I'm concerned about me going and potentially bringing some bad luck. So it's going to be a game time decision. Thursday
Why don't you
night,
want me there?
you're not stepping foot in the state of Florida on January 19th, which is the championship game. Like I said, don't want to get ahead of myself. We still have to win on Thursday. But Thursday night, following that game, there are going to be some decisions that need to be made. I'm either going to go on with my life and turn the page to full-on NBA season, or I'm going to be booking some travel. So stay tuned, okay? Stay tuned because I might be in Miami on January 19th. I've never had a team even sniff a national championship. When I enrolled in this school, Miami was a powerhouse. I thought this would be a regular occurrence. The first year in the ACC, my freshman year, I'm thinking we're going to run the table. ACC championships, no big deal. We don't have an ACC championship. It's been 20 years, okay? So I thought that this was going to be regular life. My freshman year, they still had guys on the team that played in those national championship games and were like ended up going to the NFL and being
Yeah.
superstars in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking when I'm walking around for track practice and I'm in the athletic facility seeing all these guys, that this is just a way of life. And we got worse and worse and worse my 4 years there.
Because you kept
So
hiring coaches outside of the family.
Randy Shannon was in the family when I was in school.
Not everybody's cut out to be a head coach.
Right.
He was a great defensive coach.
But they've had countless coaches. Larry Coker was there my freshman year. Then it was Randy Shannon. Then it was Al Golden. Then it was Mark Richt, Manny Diaz. Here we are with Mario Cristobal. I think I have to go if they win.
You should go. There's nothing like being in these stadiums for these college football games. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Well, you know
It would
because
be
you
a
went to
home
games.
game.
You went to games for 4 years when you were there. Did you ever miss a game when you were there?
No, and I should have because by the time I was a senior, they had a losing record. So
Did you ever miss
we'll see.
Did you ever miss a basketball game when you were there?
Maybe some during winter break and like Thanksgiving time, but no, I went to all of them.
Did you miss any baseball games when you were there?
Yes, but I went to a good amount of baseball games.
What about volleyball
So
games?
didn't go to as many volleyball games. I went to a few, but we were certainly, it's not like going to a Nebraska volleyball game. So we'll see. But the year is starting off. If Miami wins the championship and the Knicks make the NBA Finals, I'm going to be unbearable in 2026. I'm going to be the most annoying person ever. If in 2 weeks' time, if my team wins the national championship, good luck. Good luck dealing with me for the rest of the year. Okay?
Can I ask you a question? If they win the championship, now you know a lot of guys that used to play for them when you were there. Do you think you can get us a guest? One of your friends that used to play there and played in the NFL?
Maybe. I'll try. We'll see. I have to go down and see people in person and ask them. So, more to come. The Knicks, we're recording on a Saturday morning. They lost Friday night against the Atlanta Hawks. They hopefully can bounce back tonight against Philly at home. But, Dad, what'd you think of that Christmas game?
Which game was that? That was the.
That was the game where you were sleeping for the first 3 quarters.
Come on, I wasn't sleeping. What are you talking about?
You were sleeping. The proof is on TikTok and Instagram.
Who was that? San Antonio?
That was Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Okay. These games all run together. That was a great game.
They've had a tough schedule because they've pretty much been playing every other day.
Yeah, and now
And
Hart's out. He didn't play last night. Towns didn't
you
play.
got Deuce McBride back.
That was good. But Hart is out, and Towns didn't play last night. He had a tummy ache, and I'm serious. And Robinson doesn't play every game. They are like on a load management thing because of all his injuries. So they were playing without their top two centers, and without a starting small forward.
So today will be bounce back for them because they'll have hopefully the full roster with the exception of Hart. You've got Deuce McBride back, which I guess the roster now presents an interesting dilemma here because of the way that Tyler Kolek has played. Deuce McBride's on a really an incredible contract for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you potentially try and trade him?
No, because they're playing so many guys and they're rotating guys in and out. If they can get everybody healthy.
What if he's in a package for Giannis?
That's a different story. That's a different story.
Because he's going to be looking for more money soon. And now that you've got Kolek, it's like with Deuce McBride, and I love Deuce. I think he's gotten better every year. You can tell he's working in the gym. His jump shot has greatly improved. He was like, before his injury, he was hitting everything. He plays great defense. Not a guy that I'd like to see go away for nothing, but when you think about the way Tyler Kolek stepped up in Deuce McBride's absence, you also have Landy Shamet, who's still hurt. They now have, a few guys that kind of play a similar role. If you could potentially trade a Deuce McBride,
Yeah, but first of all, they don't have the draft picks.
they
Milwaukee's going to want
don't.
more than just.
Deuce McBride and Carl Anthony Towns,
That's still probably not going to be enough.
one can dream.
They're going to want. No, listen, the Knicks have a real good team right now. And a lot of these guys, these young players that weren't playing last year because they weren't ready to play, now they're playing and contributing. They're not. Some of these guys aren't consistent when they're contributing every night, but you can go with the hot hand. Some nights Kolek is great. Other nights he's just okay. Some nights the McCullough, he was tremendous at Kansas, University of Kansas. Now he's come in and had a few good games.
Diawara has had some good
He's
games.
had games. He's only 20 years old. He's a draft pick from last year. He wasn't ready to do that last year, but this year he can contribute. So
So
they're
you
getting
like
some
the
players.
roster as is.
I would leave the roster right now. They could win the championship this year.
What would you trade for Giannis?
In the summer, in the summertime, we'll talk about it. Not now. They have a chance to win a championship right now. They have a chance.
They do. And so they play Philly tonight. Then I'm interested to see them play Monday at Detroit. Then they'll play the Clippers on Wednesday. And then they go out west. Friday they play Phoenix. Then they play Portland, Sacramento. So I'm interested to see how they stack up against Detroit.
When are they going
Detroit's
to be
been
out there for Sacramento and Phoenix? And
in
Portland?
2 weeks,
Oh, in
not
two
this week.
weeks. Oh.
Yeah. I'll just miss them because I'll be out there for work this week. And I get back Thursday morning just before the national championship game.
Are you going to go to a game when you're out there, Swebb?
I don't think so. We'll see. I don't think there's any games that line up with the days that I'm out there. But this could be 2026. Things are looking up. So I didn't really make resolutions this year. I have a few: shopping less, being more joyful, just things that I'm trying to be more cognizant of.
Oh, shopping
But,
less. I like that one.
well, you're not paying my bills, so it doesn't matter what shopping I'm doing. What do you want to see in 2026? What are some resolutions for your teams, the teams that you root for, Dad?
Win more games. Win more games.
Hey, listen, I could check
Work.
some things off the list. If Miami ends up in the championship game, I could really be checking some things off the list starting hot in January. The Knicks, they've scuffled a little bit in these last couple of games. Need to get back on a winning track. They definitely have a team that's good enough to be in the NBA Finals. It could be the Knicks versus San Antonio. San Antonio is a very good team. Um, I I'm with you. Win more games, but anything specifically? What about the Jets? What's your resolution for the Jets?
Lose tomorrow. They have a chance. They're going to have. If they lose,
Lose more
they
games.
lose more games. Lose tomorrow. If they'll have at least the third pick in the draft, and if they get fortunate, they might have the second pick in the draft, and then start building your team with all these draft picks and all this salary cap money you have. And don't
Okay.
mess it up, and don't listen to the media, and don't listen to the fans. Establish a plan, which I think they have, and build your team, and don't
Okay.
worry about anything else.
What's your resolution for Michigan football?
Hit the transfer portal, rebuild this roster because they have some guys that have got entered the roster. Rebuild the roster, and this coach he's a real adult coach as opposed to the children who were running the program the last few years, and get this program reestablished, and then start
And
winning.
no cheating on your wife.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Okay. What's your resolution for the Knicks?
Do everything you can, get healthy, and try to win a championship this year. Not make the
Okay.
finals. Try to win the championship. Oklahoma City has shown. I've watched them play a few times in the last few weeks. They have some flaws.
Weaknesses.
They have some weaknesses.
Okay. What is your resolution for UNC basketball?
Keep doing what you're doing. They played this afternoon. Keep doing what you're doing. What are they, 13-1? Keep
Yes.
doing what you're doing. Don't turn the ball over, and do better at the free throw line because they've missed a bunch of free throws.
What's your resolution for the New York Yankees?
Um, See if you could pick up one more hitter and one more relief pitcher and go to work. I told you from when this season ended, last season ended, in the fall, that they weren't going to be spending a lot of money. They weren't going to be signing a lot of players.
Is that hitter Cody Bellinger?
It could be, but I don't think he probably wants like a 7-year or 6-year contract. I don't think they want to do that. They're tired of paying out a lot of money and then watch his players break down, and they got to play players once they're not playing anymore or they're a shell of themselves.
My resolution for the New York Yankees is to go back to the mindset that George Steinbrenner had. Win at all costs. Don't just be happy because the ballpark's crowded and people are spending an arm and a leg on tickets and food and merchandise, and like you're happy to be in the playoffs, but like whatever. Win at all costs. Okay? This guy changed the trajectory of my life because my expectations are so high now, rooting for a team that had an owner that was like, I don't care what we do, what we spend, as long as we're winning everything. So this guy just messed me up because now I don't even know how you end up being like, could you imagine being an Oakland A's fan or a Tampa Bay Rays fan? I mean, like, talk about the horror.
See,
So
you're a spoiled child. When I
I
started
am.
rooting for the Yankees in 1961, they were winning World Series. 61 win. 62 they won. 63 they win the World Series, they lost. 64 they were in the World Series and lost. Then in 65, the whole team got old at the same time and they fell off the cliff. And they didn't get back to a World Series until 76. So a good portion of my life in there, my teenage years and middle school years, they were losing. They weren't
Okay, they
good.
haven't won anything since 2009. It's
Well, they were in
2026.
the World. No, wait a second. They were in the World Series last year. The game is different now because the money's different. Okay,
Okay.
and you have billionaire owners that is throwing around money like crazy, and
We're
then
no
you have a
longer.
whole bunch of teams that aren't spending any money. And then if you go over a certain amount, if you spend more than like 310 million, then you have to
I
pay
get
a
it. I
tax.
get it. Okay? I get it. The team who gets to the World Series and doesn't win the World Series goes home a loser. Okay? So I'm not just, oh, we made the World Series 2 years ago. I want wins. Okay? You said your resolution for all of your teams is to win more games.
Right.
I don't just want to win games, I want to win championships. Okay? I am riding high right now, and I'd like it to continue for all of 2026. And good luck to anyone who has to deal with me the more my teams win. Okay? I have teams keeping me humble, like the New York Jets. All right? That's like the redheaded stepchild. No offense to my redheaded friends. But
But you know how
that
good it's going to
guy
be when they
doesn't even
finally
get a
win.
seat at the table.
You know how good it's going to be when they finally win.
Of course. But like, like the Knicks, they haven't won since '73. The Rangers haven't won since 1994. I've
Okay. You know
had,
how many years I went and following the Rangers, and they never won. And then that seventh game against Vancouver in '94, when they finally won. Do you know how good that was? That was
I
real good.
remember sitting in the basement watching, or in the living room watching the game. So listen, I may be spoiled, but I always had the Yankees to keep me happy. All right. Now I haven't had anything for a while. All right. We talked about Miami, thought that they were going to win, haven't won anything. The Yankees haven't won since 2009. Rangers 1940. The Knicks, 1973. The Jets, what was it, 70s as well? I don't even know. I wasn't even
69
alive.
season, 1970 Super Bowl. I was in middle school, Swebb. So you don't complain to me.
Luckily, I've had Manchester City to root for, but this is a big year for me. Okay? We've also got the Olympics, we've got the World Cup. I said I'm not going to be shopping, but I am allowing myself one purchase.
What's that?
I'm going to get a USA inspired jacket that I can wear during the Olympics, that I can wear during the World Cup, and that I can just wear in 2026 because it's the country's 250th birthday. So I have to scour for that to find the right piece, but once I do,
That won't be
you
too hard to
guys
find.
will see it.
Go to Walmart.
No. I don't need something made in China that has stars and stripes on it. I need something made in the US that has stars and stripes on it. Okay? So just know the way that I shop and the way that I do research on these things, I will find the right piece. But this is very important. This is my one purchase. I might also buy myself a brown leather bag, but that's a mid-year thing. I'm going to buy that in June. If we've had a good first half of the year, work-wise, saving money, I will buy myself a brown leather bag, but the only other purchase that I'm allowing myself to make is some sort of US jacket that I can wear this year. So, stay tuned for that. Now, Dad, before we wrap things up, do you want to leave everyone with a dad tip of the week or of the year? This is the first tip of 2026. Make it a good one. Don't rinse and repeat, okay? Make it inspired. Get everyone going. Let's start the year off strong.
You know, rinse and repeat. I was thinking about a good one the other day, Swebb, but I didn't write it down.
But your memory is going.
Talk for a minute or two. I'll probably remember.
Okay, so my tip is let's start the year being joyful. Joyful in everything that we do. Just enjoying the little moments. If it's me laying on this couch with my Christmas tree on for a few more days, like just seeking joy in everything you do, in the relationships that you have with people, in the conversations you have with people, in the work that you do in your office, in your personal life. I'm serving in church on Sunday. It's not an obligation, it's a privilege, being more joyful in everything that I do, and I am challenging other people to do that. Now, there are some exceptions. If your team starts losing and starts sucking it up, you're allowed to not be joyful in that moment. But other than that, stay joyful in 2026, people.
Well, listen, when I was at the game the other day, the Michigan-Texas game, oh, by the way, Arch Manning is going to be real good.
It's about time he showed up.
Well, wait. He sat on the bench for 2 years.
Okay,
He,
it's about time he
he
showed up.
started
This
off
guy,
this
they were
game.
talking about a Heisman Trophy before he even started a game.
He's the real deal.
I'm glad he's doing
And
well.
he's gonna
I
stay
saw
in college
him
for
running all
another year.
over Michigan.
Accurate passing. Anyway, let me tell you something. When you go to these games and you meet people from all over the country, because not every Michigan fan or Texas fan lives in either Michigan or Texas, because you have alumni that come there. They live in Florida, they live in Ohio.
And you have
they
people
live in,
like you.
and they have
who
people like
just
me.
Fell into
Didn't
it.
go into either one of these schools. And the atmosphere in these, it's different from a pro game. It's different from going to a Knick game or a Yankee game or a Met game or a Jet game or a Giant game. It's totally different. The marching bands, I was standing right next to the march because they were in the sun. I was standing right next to the Michigan marching band. These kids are playing between every snap, between every play. They're playing something. It's just unbelievable, the atmosphere. It's incredible. And I'll tell you something else. The best thing I saw this week, Michigan probably has 200 kids in the band, and they all sit in one section. When there were a few minutes left to go in the game, 3 or 4 of them pulled out these huge garbage bags, and they went up and down the aisle, and every kid in the band passed their garbage to the thing and threw it in the garbage. They actually, in a stadium, they cleaned up their area. Usually when we go to games, I put my empty
So
stuff
what's
under
your
the seat.
tip? I clean up after myself because I started my career in minor league baseball having to clean stadiums. So I do not leave garbage anywhere in any venue.
Really?
Yes. Sweep up some peanut shells, like the inner lining of the peanut, and you will never leave garbage anywhere. I won't even get peanuts at a game.
Well, I'll tell you.
But what's your tip?
My tip,
Like you're talking about the marching band. Michigan lost. What are we talking
my
about here? Are
tip
you
is
going to games, more games, and having your teams lose, or are you staying home
no,
all year
I'm
so
going
that
to
your team
games,
can win games?
but I'm also going to go to some other games. We've discussed some places that we're going to go, even in other sports like Nebraska volleyball. We're going to go out there and see a game. But you got to go to a college football or basketball game at a big school, not Podunk University, at a big school. The atmosphere is unbelievable. It's worth your trip.
Hopefully, I'll be going to a game in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I hope so. I'll be rooting for you. And if you need a ride down there, let me know. I'll drive you down.
You're not allowed in the state of Florida. Okay, you're not even. Don't even think about Florida. Okay. All right. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Dad and Swebb Talk Sports. Happy New Year, folks. Be sure to follow us at Dad and Swebb on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube and Rumble, and share this episode with a friend. We will see you next week.
So long.
Thank you for tuning into Dad and Swebb Talk Sports, the show where we cover all of our favorite sports moments from the past week. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Rumble, and follow us at Dad and Swebb on Instagram and X. See you next week.